So, invasive alien species are plants, animals, pathogens, and other organisms that are non-native to an ecosystem, which may cause economic and environmental harm, adversely affect human health. In particular, they impact biodiversity adversely, including decline elimination of native species through competition and predation of pathogens and the disruption of local ecosystem. Now, we move to general characteristic. We have 4 general characteristics. First general characteristic is non-native to the environment. This species originate from a different geographic location and ecosystem. So, second general characteristic is dominance to new habitat. The reproduction of this species is able to dominate the area and can outcompete local species. So, for example, lack of predator. They flourish due to reduced competition and predation pressure as they are introduced without their natural predator from their native habitat. Then, high adaptability. This species is able to survive in dense environment and affected areas. Like general feeding habits, for example, red-eared slider is omnivore, which is feeds on plants, insects, fish, and other aquatic animals. Lastly, for general characteristic is high reproduction rate. This species grow quickly compared to existing local species.
The first benefits for invasive alien species is pollination. Alien species can enhance pollination by supporting crops production and filling the gaps that left by a declining native species. For example, the honeybees Apis mellifera. The honeybees Apis mellifera is not strictly introduced to the Southeast Asia, but the honeybees has been introduced and manage the honey production. They are highly effective pollinators for many crops. The second benefit for invasive alien species is sources of food. Alien species can be a sources of food for humans, such as tilapia fishes, and then the alien species also can be a sources of food for the native species. For example, the red-eared slider is being predated upon by the estuarine crocodile, which is a Buaya Muara Sungai, and also the monitor lizard. The third benefit of invasive alien species is for aesthetic value. Alien species such as paper flowers that has been growing out through Malaysia has always been for ornamental purposes and to beautify a landscape. The paper flowers has continues to bloom and it has a bright color that make it as a popular choice for decoration. The first disadvantage of invasive alien species is competition with native species. It is because they want to obtain foods and space, so limited food resource and space with a lot of invasive alien species in one ecosystem will make it hard for native species to grow and to survive in one ecosystem. Other than that, the invasive alien species also will monopolize the existing resources and it will cause a problem to the native species, which lead them to extinction. The second disadvantage is the disease transmission. So, the invasive alien species will act as a vector that carry pathogens that are not present in the native ecosystem that will infect the native species, especially if the native species has a low immunity. In addition, this also will not harm the native species but also affect the human health. For example, the Asian tiger mosquito that are native to the Africa is a vector for a number of viruses, including dengue and Zika, that can cause serious illness to the human. The third disadvantage is habitat alteration. The invasive alien species will colonize the new era to the point of damaging the surrounding environment. For example, there is alteration by the food webs. The invasive alien species can eat other native species. For example, the apple snail that damaging the native plant and act as a pest. So the first invasive alien species in our group is the red-eared slider. All in the scientific name is we call as the Trachemis scripta elegans, which is from Brazil. So the impact of this invasive alien species is it is illegal to keep. So in Malaysia, this species is illegal to keep, to sell, to buy, or to import under the Wildlife Conservation Act 716. However, they are still smuggled in this country due to the high demand as a pet. Other than that, the red-eared slider also act as a vector, which is they can transmission the disease. So one of the disease is like salmonella, respiratory disease, and also the rhinovirus, which affect the amphibians or local turtles and the other aquatic animals. Second invasive alien species is the African catfish, or we call as Clarias garipinos, which is from Africa. So the impact of this fish is they will compete against the native species because they are bigger in sizes, and also they grow quickly, which make them as a perfect predator. Other than that, this species also a piscovirus, which means they attack other fishes such as the fly, fingerlings, or any transplanted fish. The third one is the sleeping grass, or the scientific name is the Mimosa pudica, which is from Brazil. So the impact of this plant is, it is fire hazard when the dense thicket are dry. Other than that, this plant also harmful to agriculture because it's quickly spread in disturbed areas and forming a ground cover that can harm our crops. Other than that, it will reduce the aesthetic value in a landscape because it grows in unwanted spaces.